Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, and this is Pearls of Wisdom and Food. And while we're here, we talk about carnivore and interesting things that come up in the news or videos or just certain pieces of information that can help us on our daily carnivore journey. Now, some of you may be keto and thinking, do I even want to do that? Is that too restrictive? Will I get bored? Well, here you can, hear what I have to say and then read the comments below and say, well, these older people, it seems to kind of be working for them. And, make your decision whether you're going to be mostly carnivore. I mean, most interviews that I listen to, the people talk about being like 95% carnivore. That 5% could be other things that, I don't know, supplements or a spice or something that they add to their food plan that is not necessarily carnivore. Some people work with a lot of spices. Some people drink herbal tea. Other people have coffee with some things in it. We all do what we do. And to be a carnivore just basically means a mostly animal product food plan anyway. So, as many of you have heard me say, there is no perfect carnivore. And if that person is a perfect carnivore, do you really want to listen to them anyway? They probably, wear it on their chest and they, do that and they have the cape and maybe the thing where they're just masked that you can only see their eyes. It's not easy being perfect in the carnivore world. And it's not easy being perfect in the regular world. I think it's a spiritual thing to be able to make mistakes and turn them around and learn from them, right? Isn't that part about being human, is that we have that free will that we can do that? So I've been doing carnivore now for 7, 8, 9 months. I'm not sure. People ask me about certain dates and how long and how many months did it take for that. I don't know. I just slowly tweaked my food plan into the place that I'm at now, where it's an all animal product food plan. And that's what I do. I wake up in the morning and I have a warmed water with no salt, which has that potassium in it, pink Himalayan salt, and one squeeze of lemon. A half a lemon lasts me 3 days. Just because. And I have that. That's my stata. That's my kick stata of the day. And then I have 6 ounces of black coffee that, I don't know, all of a sudden I just started to drink it and it's worked out okay. So I'll have that, and that will be what gets me through this part of my day, which is looking at my emails, seeing if there's any voicemails, seeing if there's any comments on my YouTube channel, making a video, planning what kind of meat I'm going to have today. It's a busy morning. And so I do all of that, and then I do my rebounder. And so then I'm ready to have a bath and start my day. And it works out just fine. It's a very simple lifestyle that I'm fortunate to live. When I'm Ubering and lifting, I'm at the point now where I don't even want to bring coffee into the car. I like that break. So if I'm in the middle of sipping my second cup of coffee and I get a call for Uber or Lyft, I leave it on the counter and I'll heat it up when I get back home. And so I'll just do my trip, free from having that. And it just kind of works. It just makes it like a cleaner transition. I know I've got it at home and I can enjoy it when I get there. But I just like that cleanness of like being all present in the car and not, thinking of the coffee. Do I miss leaving it on the counter? Sometimes, but I know that I'll enjoy it more if I get home and have a little break to sit down than just gulping it in the car as I'm rounding corners and, dealing with morning rush hour traffic or that glare of the sun in the morning that we seem to have now. And so that all works for me. I look forward to my OMAD. It's usually between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. I still use the Fiesta. I guess they call it a luncheon plate. It's not the full-size dinner plate. And I usually like to have variety, except on Sunday when it's the big ribeye coming off of the grill. And like today, for example, I will have ribeye steak and some ground sirloin kind of scrambled in the same cast iron pan as the ribeye. And that will be my meal. Just a little variety, a little different texture. I find that suits me just fine. I see people have some seafood with their beef, some seafood with their pork. Some people still like chicken, and they do that. It's whatever works for you, the taste of the certain type of animal product and the texture. And it's nice to have the change. Sometimes I'll have eggs, like a steak, and some scrambled hamburger. Just depends on how big the piece of steak is. And that sort of stuff just makes me very happy. I do like fatty pork country ribs. And not all ribs taste the same. It's kind of weird. I had a really good package from Market Basket, and they were good. And then I bought another package, and they just tasted. It wasn't the best tasting. Not that it was bad, but it just didn't have that great taste that the Market Basket had. The Market Basket one was more like a center cut pork chop, but with more fat, and so I liked it. Sometimes I have spicy Italian sausage. I know, spices, who knew? Sometimes I have pepper jack cheese with a little hot pepper flake in it. And then other times I just feel like a more mild sort of encounter with my cheese, either like on my burger or in my omelet. I also enjoy putting organic cream cheese in my omelets as well. Last night I had a 2-egg omelet with it's shredded cheese. It's mozzarella and provolone. Yes, I know it's got some non-caking agents in it, but it's a nice blend with 1 slice of pepper jack and 30 grams of the organic cream cheese and Organic Valley cream cheese. It's delicious. Nice and smooth, and the 4 different cheeses were divine. And I had that with ribeye. So I don't suffer or get bored with my carnivore choices. They're all right there. I don't have a whole bunch of cheese, but like in that omelet, I mean, it might seem like a whole bunch. I don't know. My pizza is a cheese-based crust. I know other people have other types with turkey or beef or chicken that's ground along with the cheese. This is the one that I use. I did a video, a 3-video part on how to make my pizza. Sure, it's not for everybody, but it's the one that I use. So finding what works for you, it's that back to that N=1. If you miss pizza and you still can have cheese or dairy, it's just a nice break from meat, and sometimes eggs. So that's why I do it. It keeps me from FOMO, fear of missing out. For some reason, I just seem to encounter a lot of pizza ads on TV. I'm not an ad person, but sometimes, they happen. And when they pull that piece of cheese, that cheese pizza from the whole pizza, it's a pull that I still it triggers me, not in a bad way, but just, so making my pizza once a week just keeps me from that whole head thing where it's like a good idea and it works. But because it is all animal products, it does work for me. So then I drink Gersteiner or San Pellegrino mineral water. I've also integrated back, which I mentioned a second ago, the no salt. It's got a lot of potassium in it, and I seem to, maybe my body was wanting some of that, and so I've had that. I add that with the pink Himalayan salt, and then I use Redmond's and then Celtic salt crystals. I have a little dish, like a dipping dish, um, little bowl, and I stick my tongue in those crystals, and I do that twice with my warmed salted water, and that is part of my warm salted water routine. So I have that, and then the Redmond's goes on my meal, and then the pink Himalayan goes into my coffee and into my waters for the day. And so hopefully that's enough minerals. I use ample amounts. So I thought it was doing all of it, but I was feeling a little heart racing. And in the videos I've watched, it says it could be magnesium and or potassium. So I've added that, and it seems to have definitely calmed that down. And sometimes I can't tell the difference between a heart palpitation and anxiety. So all I know is that I haven't felt either since I've reintroduced the no salt. You can get it from Amazon, Walmart, most places in the spice area. And it seems to work for me. I didn't think I needed any more additional. I was listening to one interview with Dr. Elliot Overton. I think it was on HBO, Human Performance Outliers, with Sean Baker and Zach Bitter. And he was talking about magnesium citrate, which I used to also have all the time. And so, excuse me, although one of my former clients takes magnesium glycinate and recommends that, I might go back to that magnesium citrate powder. We'll see. Haven't done it yet. But those are just the updates on my electrolyte intake. And everything is always subject to change. You know, somebody will watch an old video of mine and they say, "Are you still doing that? I thought you did." And it's like, that was months ago. You know, the whole journey of this keto to carnivore is just filled with different tweaks. You know, when we know better, we do better. At least that's what we hope for. And so sometimes we get to know better about a certain thing. When I was keto, I was having those big A salads and lots of veggies and tons of, you know, and I would have the fruit in season, the berries, because we were told you can have the berries in season. They're low carb, low sugar, and then we find out that they're riddled with oxalates. And it's like, oh man, there's always something, always something. Yep, there is. And so when we know better, we do better. And so far the animal products keep getting the win, you know, like it's the Olympics or something like that, or, you know, the ice skating contest where the judges hold up the cards with the numbers on them. And the carnivore diet seems to get the 9.7 all the time, whereas other food programs I've been on have had like 8.5. You know, everything's better than the standard American diet, right? So if you go from the standard American diet to keto, and you're having, you know, you listen to Dr. Berg and you have your 6 to 8 cups of veggies, salads, or whatever, or you're listening to somebody else that does keto and you're having their spinach shake green smoothie every day, sure, it's better than what you were doing to your body, you know, the artificial sweeteners and even the real deal sugar and all the chemicals and processing and all that kind of stuff. Sure, you're doing better, but you can do even more betterer, if there was such a term, but there isn't. This is the non-English teacher. And so that's just how it goes. And when you learn a little bit more about a food program, you tweak a little bit more. And suddenly, you know, I can see why a lot of people do just the meat and the water and maybe some salt, you know, but I'm still having my coffee. Dr. Elliot Overton said that herbal teas are very high in oxalates. I was surprised to hear that, but not surprised, if you know what I mean. And he said, so far, you coffee drinkers doing carnivore will be happy to know that coffee does not rate as high in oxalates as some fearmongers want you to believe. So I was very happy about that. So that's just, you know, that's just a little catch up what we're doing here. It's not brought to you by any letters or sponsors today. It's just me and my big old mouth at 15 minutes talking. I hope you had your cuppa and enjoyed it. I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for being here. I couldn't do this without you. I always appreciate what you're doing for your food plan and how you've tweaked and the results that have followed. It's always great to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Carnivore. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.